Okay, so I'm going to go over our Chapter 8 and 9 module summaries. And Chapter 8 covered intelligence and theoretical perspectives on intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to apply past knowledge and experiences flexibly to accomplish challenging new tasks. Fluid intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge quickly and adapt to new situations effectively. Crystallized intelligence is the knowledge and skills that have accumulated from one's prior experience, schooling, and culture. Gardner's theory of intelligence. He has 8 theories. The first one is linguistic intelligence, which is the ability to use language effectively. Logical mathematical intelligence is the ability to reason logically, especially in mathematics and science. Spatial intelligence is the ability to notice details in what one sees and to imagine and manipulate visual objects in one's mind. Musical intelligence is the ability to create, comprehend, and appreciate music. The other 4 are bodily kinesthetic intelligence is ability to use one's body skillfully. Interpersonal intelligence is the ability to notice subtle aspects of other people's behaviors. Intrapersonal intelligence is awareness of one's own feelings, motives, and desires. Naturalistic intelligence is the ability to recognize patterns in nature and differences among natural objects and life forms. Sternberg's hierarchical theory is analytical intelligence, which involves making sense of, analyzing, contrasting, and evaluating the kinds of information and problems often seen in academic settings and on intelligence tests. Creative intelligence involves imagination, invention, and synthesis of ideas within new situations. Practical intelligence involves applying knowledge and skills effectively to manage and respond to everyday problems and social situations. How to measure intelligence. Intelligence quotient, the IQ, is a score on intelligence tests determined by comparing one's performance of same-age peers. There's lots of different tests. There's Stanford Binet, which is can be used for children as young as age 2, adolescents and adults, and it yields an overall IQ score. And in most recent studies, it yields a verbal and nonverbal IQ, and it has more specific scores in fluid reasoning, knowledge, working memory, visual, spatial processing, quantitative reasoning. And this is one of the most popular tests to do when finding the IQ. Wechsler Intelligence Test is designed for children and adolescents aged 6 to 16. It has 15 different subtests and determine a few full-scale IQ. Universal Nonverbal Intelligence Test is designed for children and adolescents aged 5 to 17, and it consists of subtests involving memory or reasoning regarding visual stimuli. Instructions are given through gestures, pantomime modeling, especially useful for children who have hearing impairments or language-related disabilities. So the nonverbal test is they're not telling you what answers you have to answer back. It's like they're showing you what to do, things like that, pantomime. And cognitive assessment test includes 4 scales: attentive, simultaneous, planning, and successive subtests. The Flynn effect is gradual increase in intelligence test performance observed in many countries during the past several decades. Niche picking is tendency to actively seek out environments that match one's inherited abilities, and stereotype threat is a reduction in performance, often unintentional as a result of a belief that one group's typically performs poorly. And now into Chapter 9, language development. The Broca's area and Whitaker's area. Broca's area is in red, and it's right here. And you can see that this is the area that controls speech production. And then Whitaker's area is the language comprehension area. And those are the differences in the brain. And then theoretical perspective of language development. Phonologically is the sound system of language, how words sound and are produced. Semiotics is the meaning of words and word combinations. Syntax is rules consistently used to put words together in sentences. Pragmatics is conventions and strategies used in effective and socially acceptable verbal interactions. Native language is the first language a child learns. Semiotic development is young children divide the continuous stream of speech they hear into its individual word pieces. Children use many indigenous strategies for learning the meaning of words. Comprehension usually by no means always precedes production, and children initially focus on lexical words. Grammatical words come a bit after. Fast mapping is inferring a word's general meaning after a single exposure. Receptive language is the ability to understand the language one hears or reads. Expressive language is the ability to communicate effectively through speaking and writing. And then holophase phrase is a single word used to express a complete thought commonly observed in children's earliest speech. Telegraphic speech, short, grammatically incomplete sentences that include lexical rather than grammatical words almost exclusively, common in toddlers. Semantic bootstrapping is using knowledge of words meaning to derive knowledge about syntactic categories and structures. And then metalinguistic awareness is the extent to which one consciously understands and thinks about nature and functions of language. Bilingualism is knowing and speaking two languages fluently, and how to promote metalinguistic development, explore multiple meanings through ambiguities, jokes, riddles, read literature that plays on the nature of language, and encourage children to learn a second language. So basically, chapter 9 and 8 are just going over intelligence and language development. And it's really about how the brain works, the types of speeches, how their learning is developing, the ways that they're creating things, and just the development of the children. And thank you for listening.